kind of like in an awkward position right now. I have to keep my head facing this way. I tried to set you guys up over here, but I couldn't. So yeah. Excuse me. I'm gonna get a drink. So this is just like a quick little story. It's kind of weird, and well, actually, it's really basic, honestly. So my dad left his phone. Yes, he has a flip phone. He left his phone here at home, and he got a phone call earlier, which I just ignored it because I didn't care enough to like answer it, and because I had a dog in my way. Plus, I was lazy. I just didn't want to go over there and answer it. But I was walking into the kitchen earlier, and one of my dad's good friends called, so I answered, and he's like, "Hey, we would like exchange pleasantries." He asked if my dad was here, which my dad was at work. So I said, "No, he's not here. I'm sorry." And he's like, I said, "Do you want me to ask him to call you back?" And he was like, my plane, because he works overseas, he's like, "My plane leaves at 6:15, so if you could get him to call me back before then." At first he said no, and then he's like, "Yeah, you can tell him to call me back." So whatever, we hung up after that. I tried to call my dad through his work phone, because he didn't have his phone. So I called there, and I get this woman that must work there. I've never met her before, never heard her before. And so she puts me through to the parts department, which is like the wrong place because he doesn't work there. And then I finally get connected to his boss, and I'm like, "Hey, can you please get my dad for me if he's there?" And he asked me if I was okay, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. It's just I need to talk to him real quick." And so he goes to try to find him for like 5 minutes, it seems like. I'm like, how long does it go to look for somebody? Seriously, how long is it to look for someone? Sorry, I'm looking out the window because Randy's barking. I thought my dad was home. So I talked to Doug. Well, he will never watch this. Talked to Doug again. And he's like, "Your dad is still at lunch." And I'm like, "That's okay. Just tell him to call me when he gets a chance." Because I wanted to tell my dad that his friend had called. So it's like 5 something right now. Let's see, it's actually 5:35 right now. And early, like a few minutes earlier, I called his friend back. He was like, "Hey, home slice," because he thought it was my dad. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, it's me again. I just wanted to call to say that he's not home yet, and I apologize for that. If I told you wrong." He's like, "No, it's okay." And I asked him if he wanted to like leave a message, and he's like, "No. I kind of need to talk to him," which was fine, whatever. But I'm just wondering, like, I wonder what it is that he wants to talk to my dad about. Not that it's any of my business. I didn't pry because I'm not that kind of person. Like, if you have secrets and you want to keep them, that's completely fine. But I'm just wondering what you're hiding. Like, what you want to talk about, like, what's your secret and everything. Like, I'm just curious. It did hurt my feelings a little bit, but I'm not going to lie. It's none of my business, and I'll probably forget about it eventually. No, I will forget about it because it's not that big of a deal. I didn't cry over it. I'm like, whatever. And so I was like, "Yeah," and I apologize, like I told you wrong again. And he's like, "No, you're good. I'll just have to talk to him, like, if he doesn't get home anytime soon." Like, it was like 30 minutes, he was saying when I called him, like, I still have 30 minutes to my flight. If he don't make it home in time, I'll just have to talk to him in 3 weeks. I was like, "Okay, I'll tell him to call you as soon as he gets home." So hopefully he gets home real soon. If he doesn't, then I guess his friend is going to have to wait 3 weeks until they can talk again. So that was just like a short little story. I'm sorry if it was boring. But I got, the funny part is that I got, moved to 3 different places in the department at my dad's work until I finally got to his. Like, his was the third one. So first it was the main apartment, then the parts department, and then his department where they do body work and stuff. But yeah, I just thought it was a kind of interesting story. Like, what secrets are you hiding, Mr. Friend? But anyway, like I said, it's none of my business. I was just curious. Like, I wondered, like, what he was, one day he wanted to talk to Dad about. But, like, I didn't pry. I just said, did you want to leave a message? And he's like, no, I kind of need to talk to him. I'm like, oh, okay. That's fine. Not going to cry over it. It's not the end of the world that he didn't want to say what it was. It's probably something private between him and my dad. I'm not going to pry. I'm not going to be a brat about it. I'm not entitled to know what he wants to talk to my dad about. Although my dad will probably put him on speakerphone if he does make it home in time. But I'm not going to eavesdrop because that's not my place to know what's going on. It's not a crime to be curious, though. It's not a crime to be curious. Like, it really isn't a crime to be curious. That's all. Anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. Bye.